Have you noticed that there's one group that has not made any noise or made videos complain about Trump's policies hurting them or their business? Black farmers.
Right now, a lot of white farmers are scared. They're struggling with new rules, losing money, and blaming the government. Some of them are even crying out for help. But you don't hear much from black farmers. Why? Because we already know the game. For years, black farmers have been left out on purpose. The system was built to push us out. Our land was stolen. We were denied loans. We were shut out of programs that white farmers used to grow rich. So now, when Trump's policies or government changes hurt white farmers, we don't feel the shock the same way. Why? Because we were never included in the first place.
Have you noticed that there's one group that has not made any noise or made videos complain about Trump's policies hurting them or their business? Black farmers. How many videos have you seen of black farmers, excuse me, making videos going, oh, I'm going to lose my farm because Trump cut off benefits. I'm going to lose my farm because the Department of Agriculture no longer gives me subsidy. How many videos have you seen of black farmers doing that? That's because black farmers have historically, till this day, been excluded from all government subsidies. So right now, every white farmer is learning how to survive the same way black farmers have been surviving. Like I said, what Trump was going to do was bring every white American down to the black American level.
He's right. While they panic, we stay steady, because we've been dealing with unfair laws, broken promises, and stolen dreams since forever. Now here's something you don't hear every day. This woman is keeping it real. She's calling out the truth. White farmers are begging for help now. But where was that same energy when black farmers were crying out, losing land, and being ignored?
You know, I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA is literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
Let's go even deeper. This brother is about to break it all the way down. From stolen land to blocked resources, he lays out how the system has always been set up against black farmers.
The U.S. government gave 270 million acres of land away for free. Guess who didn't get any? That's right. After the Civil War, 3,500 black families managed to claim about 650,000 acres through the Homestead Act. Now that may sound like a lot, right? Well, that's when you realize that white settlers got 270 million acres, okay? Now the way I figure that, that's about a 400 to 1 difference. To paraphrase Martin Luther King, it wasn't just the land. The government built land-grant colleges to teach white farmers how to work the land. Then they sent out experts to help them succeed, and then they gave them low interest loans and subsidies to keep white farmers growing. Black farmers, they were just left to figure it out on their own. Here's the wild part. You see, after the Civil War and the Homestead Act, black folks made it happen without government subsidies. And by 1910, black folks owned 16 million acres of land, about 14% of all of the farmland in the U.S. And here's the amazing thing, right? By 1910, that 16 million acres, that was the top part. That was the apotheosis of black farming. Think about the color purple, where all those black folks own land. They own that 16 million. Now that's where this chart comes in. Now you see this blue line? That's what white farmers got for free. Okay? Now the Homestead Act is the second line. This is what black folks got. Okay? That's the handouts that black folks got compared to those handouts. All right? Now, because black folks make a way out of no way, this green line, that's what black farmers had in 1910. Now here's the part that always makes me mad. 16 million acres of land, 14% of all the land that was farmland in America. That was 1910. Think the color purple and how Mister and all these folks had land, all right? You know what the last line is? That's what black farmers own today. About 4 million acres of land. Literally, there have been reports that over 90% of black farmers get rejected for subsidies and loans. So that means that a black farmer essentially can't make money picking cotton. Make it make sense. There's always one factoid that makes me think, man, you know, black folks, we are awesome. The one person, one of the few people who made any money or any earnings off of the Homestead Act, black folks, was a man named Oscar Micheaux. So now for those of you who know anything about film, Oscar Micheaux essentially invented black film. And he used his earnings to support a thriving black film industry for about 30 years in Hollywood. So don't tell me that land ain't important and black folks owning land aren't important. Think of all the Oscar Micheaux we could have had. I'm your Uncle Sonari. Give your brother a follow.
Now, if you still don't believe the system was designed to shut us out, listen to this. This former chicken farmer lays it all out, how they refused to let him pass his farm down to his own family, not because of money, not because of business, but because he's black. They would rather hand it to a stranger than let black land stay in black hands.
If people knew what kind of mess was going on just to get a piece of chicken, they would stop eating it. Whatever you do, run from a poultry house. Do not do it. You'll lose your wife, you'll lose your health, you'll lose everything that you have. It's not worth it. Run from a chicken house. Run. I'm Carlton Sanders, and I'm from Forest, Mississippi, and I was a chicken grower for some 28 years for Cook Foods, and I lost everything I had due to the upgrades and a bunch of guys that didn't like black folks. That's the bottom line. I mean, if people knew how much trouble we were having trying to grow these chickens, they would stop eating chicken. I mean, it's just that simple. Because nobody wants to be like I am now. Done lost everything and pitiful looking and talking. And people don't want to do that. But now Tyson and Cook, ooh, it's just like you in hell with those guys. Yeah, I used to cry and couldn't stand to come by here because I did everything from scratch. And I'd been here for 30-some years. Had a beautiful garden. You know, everything was just good and perfect. So, you know, therefore, it just made a mess out of things. Have to get out and move somewhere else and relocate. And you know how it is. It was just hard all over. This was my #1 house right here on the Carlton Sanders farm. And I did this for 28 years right here at this farm right here. One year, and I would have had everything paid for, from $750,000 down to $50,000. They found out somehow that I'm about to get everything paid for, and they wanted me to do all upgrades, so they would put me back in debt some $500,000, and the bank wouldn't do it. First, the bank was on my side. So we are sick of these chicken farms and the way they operate. And then all of a sudden, when they got ready to cut me off and kill me, then the bank pulled in with them. My son got the money to buy the place, and once he got the money, they wouldn't let him have it. The man told me, said, well, he told my son first, he said, they trying to put your dad out of there. They sold for $110,000. That's what this guy got it for.
And how much did you have to pay?
I offered him $150,000. It was a racial thing, a black versus white, and if I'd have been a white guy, I never would have went through this. And they didn't have no mercy on me, and I don't wish this on nobody. And a farmer shouldn't have to go through this, you know, when he's feeding America. He shouldn't have to go through this. Nobody should have to go through what I done gone through. So, like I said, I thank God I'm still living and things as well as it is. And you know, that's just how it is. I'm thankful and blessed. Chicken is the way of life in Mississippi. Now, that's where you're gonna find your black guys out on the truck and catching the chicken. It's pretty dangerous because right now, with this corona thing out, these people get sick and die or get sick. They just roll another black guy in his place and tell him to keep on getting up. It's terrible. If people knew what kind of mess was going on just to get a piece of chicken, they would stop eating it. Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Doug Jones, they wanted to help. So we're trying to get a bill passed as to how we can handle these problems and help other growers not to grow through what I've gone through. You know, I look at it like Martin Luther King and Lewis. Those guys can do it, I can too. I want to be heard, and I want to be heard from. You know, we were supposed to meet Donald Trump, but he chickened out, he wouldn't do it. He said he didn't think the farmer was having that much trouble. He said, because he didn't hear nothing about it. Yeah, just because he don't hear nothing about it, that don't mean it ain't happening. You know, it's just tough. And then so many people laughed at me, and then so many people cried, you know. But I did the best I could, what I had to do, and you know, tried to make it.
And that right there says it all. They'll do everything they can to keep black folks from owning, building, and passing down what's ours, not because we can't do it, but because they know we can. From land theft to denied loans to flat out refusing to let a man keep his farm and his family, it's all part of the same system, a system that was never made for us to win. But here's the thing, we're still here, still planting, still growing, still surviving. And now we're telling the truth, loud and clear. So if this video moved you, share it, drop a comment, start the conversation. Because the more we speak up, the more we protect what's left, and the more we inspire the next generation to keep fighting. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay woke. See you in the next one.